Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I've got a interesting video here for you that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to have a chat about the aged pension. Now, if you know, you know. If you don't, it'll be difficult to find out this type of information. But I was fortunate to have exposure when I was younger to this sort of thing. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial information, and I'm not giving you any financial advice. So let's talk about Australia. Let's talk about how many people are in Australia and how many people are currently receiving Australian government assistance. So the population is just over 25 million. And according to the DSS website, we've got 4.6 million Aussies receiving some form of income support payment. The income support system was about 71.6 billion or 6.8% of GDP. Statistics are that 77% of Australians over the age of 65 receive income support, and 17% of Australians aged 16 to 64 years of age. 59% of income support recipients are women and 58% are single. Australia's population is ageing. 13% of Australians are now over 65 years old, and that's going to grow by 25% by 2047. The age pension age has been slowly increasing. So if you were born 1st of January 1954 to the 30th of June 1955, your age pension age would be 66 years of age. That means that when you hit 66, then you can apply for the age pension. If you were born 1st of July 1955 to 31st of December 1956, your age pension age is 66 years and 6 months. On or after the 1st of July 1957, your age pension age is 67 years of age. So there we can see the government is slowly increasing the age, hoping that you can be more self-reliant on your own finances or you spend a longer time in the workforce. So for a single person, the rates of the age pension is $944.30 per fortnight. That includes the basic rate, the maximum pension supplement, and an energy supplement to help you pay your energy bills. So that would equate to $24,551.80 for a single. For a couple, it is more. So for a couple, it is $711.80 per couple, per person rather. And that comes to $18,506.80 per person. So times that by 2 would be $37,013.60. Let's use an example. Let's say that you were born on the 1st of January 1950. So therefore your age pension age would be 66 years of age. Okay. So you turn 66 years old, whatever date that was, and you decide that you want to apply for the age pension. Okay, let's say that your spouse, and this is important, your spouse is not of age pension age, so therefore her superannuation assets are not counted. I think you can see where I'm going with this. If not, it'll become very, very clear what I'm talking about. You're going to write in your application that you do have a partner, and then you're going to list your shared assets. Okay, but because she's of not pension age, her superannuation would not be counted. So you lodge your forms, and they come back and then they say, okay, well, you don't qualify for the maximum because you've got assets in your own name, etc., etc. Let's say that your spouse is 3 years younger than you. Hell, make it 6 years younger. If you had no assets in your name, effectively, you would be eligible for the maximum age pension entitlement for the period in which your spouse is not of age pension age. So you could enjoy 3 years, 6 years of an extra $24,500 a year, when the truth and reality is that perhaps maybe you could fund your own retirement. However, you've decided that you want to get yours from the government, which is very common, a legal strategy that a lot of people employ. The question you need to ask is, do you trust your partner? Do you trust your spouse? Well, if so, the bread and butter of the superannuation financial advice industry will be, okay, upon Centrelink age pension age, what can you do to maximize your age pension entitlements? It's a very, very common question asked by people approaching that age, sorting out their affairs before they actually lodge the application. So everything's all squared up. The advice that people would give to you if you were in that particular situation would be to sort out your affairs before you make the application, because it's far easier to get things all sorted and say, oh, this is what it is, rather than notifying Centrelink as to updating your situation and playing funny buggers. So a question that it would be asked is, do you trust your spouse? It might be asked in a joking manner, but in all seriousness, if you do, then what you would want to do is you would want to transfer the person that's applying for the age pension, you would want to in specie transfer your superannuation balance to your partner, so they have all the superannuation. Any cash, any stocks that you've got, you may decide to trigger a capital gains event, and then you may want to contribute it as a non-concessional contribution into their superannuation account. But basically what you're doing is you're now just trying to get rid of as many assets in your own personal name to make it look like, and again, it's not financial advice, I'm telling you what is done. This is what's done all around Australia, day in, day out. So when you ask me about how many people that are actually entitled to the age pension, yes, they've worked very hard, but there is certainly a portion of people that want to get their share from the government from all these years of working and paying tax. And the way they do that is they move all their assets into their spouse's name. Again, this will only work if your spouse is younger, which can often be the case. If you're the same age, then well, you're out of luck, excepting for deciding to buy your own funeral plot, which might rid you of $10,000. Or you might decide to fix up the house for 50 grand, $150,000, something to that effect. But the bread and butter of the industry is to move the age pensions applicants' assets. So there's a real tongue twister. You want to move that over into your spouse's superannuation account, and you just do as much as you can before you apply. Now, is this right? Should this be legal? It's all shades of grey. However, if Centrelink and DSS really had some bite about them, it would be very, very simple. In the form, you would specify, has there been any transfer of any asset to your spouse, including non-concessional contributions into superannuation, etc., 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 stocks, term deposits, all that jazz. And then if that has occurred in the last 3 years or 5 years, that would then be caught up in the net, and the applicant would be forced to disclose exactly what they've done, and then the relevant authorities, the people assessing the application, would say, well, that asset does exist, and we can see a clear correlation that they've actually transferred it to put in place this particular strategy, and then that particular transfer of money into superannuation in your spouse's name would then be caught in the net, and thus would be applied, and that would literally possibly change a lot of the advice given in the financial planning industry. If you didn't have that avenue, then you wouldn't have retirees receiving an extra $25,000 worth of income, which, let's be real, it's not a huge amount of money, it works out to something like $65 a day if you divide it by 365. But that's still going out to the local coffee shop and buying some groceries, when the truth may be, and again, I need to stress that this may be 1% of all age pension recipients. You will never know the statistics. If 50% of them are maybe actually not really entitled, but Centrelink would know a portion of that information, and how they would know is that when the spouse becomes of pension age, suddenly they reveal the rest of their assets and income, etc., and then they're not even eligible in the slightest for an age pension. So surely the staff at that organisation would see that time and time over again and be like, geez, well, so-and-so was receiving a full age pension for 3 or 4 or 5 years, when really they weren't entitled to it. They live in a nice suburb, their house is worth $2 million or more. The spouse is holding on to, $1 million worth of super, and what this guy, that has no assets in his name is claiming the age pension. So really, you guys may think that there's something wrong with that, but until authorities would ever do something about it, nothing would ever change. Specialized information, I know this video won't suit everybody, but if you're looking for this type of information, I hope I've been quite succinct and straight to the point with the strategy. If you've got any questions, feel free to comment or send me a private message. Thanks a lot, guys.